Hello again, Irish fans, and welcome to this week's edition of Inside Notre Dame Football with Brian Kelly. I'm Jack Nolan, joined as always by the head coach of the Fighting Irish. And Brian, as you know, since the beginning of the 2018 season, Notre Dame is 30-3, the fourth best record in all of college football. And I think it's a measure of how far this program has come, that after a road win over Georgia Tech that you dominated statistically in the first half and put away early in the second half, both you and your players felt you could have and should have performed a little better.
Yeah, our standard has certainly risen since, probably 2016, certainly. But I think it's a mark of where we've come. As you mentioned, a lot of wins, but there's more for us. And what we're talking about is winning a championship. So I think they measure everything. We measure everything over a championship performance. And although there were some really good things, certainly on Saturday, I think they measure it with a different standard now.
Your defense was outstanding again, with Dalton Hayes playing the best game of his career with 5 tackles, including 2 strip sacks to earn the game ball.
Yeah, no question, Jack. And they were timely. I mean, they were big plays at a big pivotal time in the game when our defense needed it the most. And that's what, obviously big players step up at the big times. And to have Dalton do that was outstanding. On the back end of the defense, you've got Kyle Hamilton. Certainly, we feel like our linebackers have been playing very well. And to get that kind of production from our defensive line, where we have been talking about getting more pressures on the quarterback, it was great to see.
Coach and I will be back to break down all the key plays from Notre Dame's 31-13 road win over Georgia Tech right after this timeout. It's time now for our game breakdown, brought to you by Cannon. Coach, you opened the game against Georgia Tech with a not flawless, but very balanced scoring drive. 8 rushes for 42 yards, 7 passes for 49 yards, with 4 third down conversions.
It was a great way to start the game. We started fast, and with the first drive of the game ending up being a touchdown. And I think just the way that we drove the football all the way down the field, using all those plays, I think sent a strong message that Georgia Tech was going to have a hard time stopping us today.
And the touchdown came on an 8-yard rollout pass from Ian Book to Joe Wilkins Jr. Book was 7 for 7 passing on the drive.
A couple things. Number one, I thought that he was definitely much more efficient in getting the ball out. His first and second options were covered. He waited for Joe to uncover on the backside and threw a great ball on the move. So a great way to finish off the drive.
Now you're driving for your second straight touchdown on your next possession when Kyron Williams fumbles in the red zone and Tech returns it for a score, but you stick with Kyron and he picks up 21 yards on 3 carries on your next drive, including a 2-yard touchdown run.
Our guys clearly understand that those are the things that we've got to eliminate from our game, but I did like our response, and that was the most important thing.
And the biggest play on that touchdown drive was a 21-yard gain on a reverse by Chris Tyree, who averaged 9+ yards per carry on 5 carries in the game.
We had set the play up quite well. I thought it was well executed, well timed in its play call. Tommy Trumbull did a great job out on the perimeter blocking. Joe Wilkins did a great job blocking. We had guys downfield doing a really good job of setting that play up. And I love the way Chris Tyree finished the run as well. I mean, it was a physical way to, send an exclamation point to the kind of run that he had.
Now, you dominated the first half statistically, but you start the second half leading just 17-7, and Tech is driving until, on a first down play from the Irish 27-yard line, Dalton Hayes comes up with a strip sack that ends Tech's best chance at an offensive touchdown to that point in the game.
Yeah, it was a big, like I said, there were some, key plays and key moments in that game that I think were good for our football team in a sense. They needed, a couple of, I think situations that required them to step up and show some resolve, and they certainly did there with the big play and the fumble recovery. So, getting that and then again responding, which I thought was really, really key there, that our offense took the ball down and scored. and then made it a 24/7 game, I think it changed the whole complexion of the football game.
And the big play on that drive was a 31-yard pass to Javon McKinley to the Tech 13-yard line.
You know, the one thing about Javon, you still got to get him down on the ground. You know, he's a big-bodied guy that's tough to tackle. So he had not only the catch, but, you know, he had yards after the catch as well.
Now, the game is still not wrapped up when Tech is driving again later, down 24-7, but first Dalton Hayes and then Sean Crawford come up with 2 of Notre Dame's 5 sacks on the day, which forces the Yellow Jackets to settle for a field goal attempt, which is no good.
Our guys have been great in the red zone, you know, keeping them out of the end zone. I think we're one of the best teams in the country in terms of red zone defense. And, you know, we forced them to a field goal, and, you know, our guys did a great job, and you know, obviously Georgia Tech missed the field goal.
Now your offense quickly turns that defensive stop into another touchdown with the big play, a 34-yard pass to Javon McKinley on 3rd down and 8 to the Tech 38-yard line. You were impressive, 10 of 15, as you mentioned earlier, on 3rd down in the game. Drive ends with 4 straight runs from Georgia native Sibo Fleminster, including a 3-yard touchdown run to give you a 31-7 lead. Fleminster also ran well in the game, picking up 62 of your 227 rushing yards on the day, an average of just over 5 yards a carry, which matches your season average coming into the game, meaning this rushing attack has been a consistent and effective weapon for you throughout the season.
Yeah, it's been a consistent running attack. It's been one that we've stayed with. Again, I think that's important to note too, Jack, is that we don't get scared away because we've had a couple of plays that didn't get us the yardage necessary. We have stuck with it, and I think Tom's done a really good job of being patient with particular plays and staying with them and finding that success in the second half.
So the Irish pick up their 6th win of the season by the score of 31-13 over Georgia Tech to extend the nation's longest winning streak to 12 games. When we return on Inside Notre Dame Football, Coach Kelly will break down a number of the biggest plays from the Fighting Irish win in Atlanta. Notre Dame's win in Atlanta extended the nation's longest active winning streak to 12 games. This week's edition of Icon gives you an inside look at the 6th win of the season for the Fighting Irish.
Welcome to Halloween in Atlanta, Georgia, on the Georgia Tech campus, as the upset-minded Yellow Jackets welcome undefeated and 4th-ranked Notre Dame, which has been donning a championship-caliber costume so far.
The game plan is to take the air out of the rush lanes of this quarterback. He will not beat us throwing the ball. You guys go out there and you impose your will on them from the first play into the last play.
Rely on all the things and all your training. Trust it all today. We get after these guys right from the very beginning. There's doubt in their minds. Let's make sure they know that.
Perform at your best, good things are going to happen. Everybody good with that? Here we go, baby. Let's go. Let's go. FTB, let's do it. FTB. Oh, yeah, we here today. Let's go.
Rolling out to his right. Pass to the end zone is caught for a touchdown. Joe Wilkins pulls it in.
Get you one. Get you one.
Here comes a jet sweep to Tyree.
Oh, yeah, Chris. Oh, yeah, Chris. Let's go. Let's go.
Think about it, Tommy. Just go play, baby. Go play.
First and goal from the Georgia Tech 2-yard line. And they just plow straight ahead.
Let it, baby, Conrad. We're not done yet. Let's hit him in the mouth. Let's go.
Kyle Hamilton was in the backfield immediately and takes down Gibbs for a loss.
Let's go, Kyle. Let's go.
Yeah, we hit. We hit.
Everybody knows where we're at, right? 17-7 at the half. My question is that it? Is that where we are? Is that our best? Let's turn it up a notch. And when we go out there, it's our kickoff team that sets the tone, and then our defense knows what has to happen. Let's all 3 units commit to this right now, that we up our level of play in those 3 areas. Kickoff team, defense, get the ball away, and then offense, execution, and let's make it 24/7 before they even know what happens to them. That's up in our level of play, okay? Is everybody committed to that? Strap up, let's go.
Lego, in and out. We don't got to be out here long.
Sims in trouble, fumbles the ball as he's sacked. Recovered by Notre Dame.
Hey, if you ain't get it, I was coming, boy. I told you I was going to get you back.
Yes, shot here, though, to get away from Isaiah Foskey.
This is who we want to be. Yes, sir. Let's finish in the end zone. I'll meet you in the end zone. Let's go. We're so good at football. Let's go, Steve-O! Let's go, man. That's what I'm talking about.
Listen, we talked about this. Winning's hard. We won the football game today, but we got another level. And we're not all leaving here going, that's our finest effort right there. It's not. Okay? We're going to clean those mistakes up in practice this week. We got a short week. We're going to get back at it tomorrow. Great victory. You deserved it. And we had one individual today that was on fire. He was the player that really separated from everybody on the field today, and that was Dalton Hayes.
Two things I want to say to y'all. First thing is this, bro. I love y'all boys more than I love anyone in this world, bro. Like, I've been saying it all week, bro. The D-line has been saying it. The defense has been saying it, man. This is for the brotherhood. FTB, bro. Yep. Hey, and the second thing is this. It's Clemson week, bro. Yeah. Yep. We know exactly who come to our house. But they got to come through us. They got to come through this brotherhood. They got to come play in our crib. Let's go.
I can't say anything. I mean, that's the way you say it right there. Okay, that's from the heart. That's what he means. And let's go do that.
It's time now for Instant Reaction, sponsored by SiriusXM. Notre Dame graduate, captain, defensive end Dalton Hayes came up with the best performance of his career last Saturday against Georgia Tech. Here's what Dalton had to say when he met with the media via Zoom after the game.
All right, and we will go ahead and get started with Dalton Hayes.
Hi, Dalton. Wonder if you could talk a little bit about your play today and what it means now to finally get everything behind you, and now you can concentrate solely on Clemson.
By behind me, what do you mean?
Well, the games leading up to now, and now you've got them all behind you, and now it's Clemson coming up this week.
Oh man, it's just an awesome opportunity. I mean, we don't have to beat around the bush anymore. It's Clemson week, baby. So let's go out. We're gonna go out. We're gonna work our butts off. We're gonna stick to our process, and just excited for our team, to be ascending at this point. So.
Yeah, Dalton, only 6 points allowed today by the defense. What do you think attributes to how well you guys have been playing this year, keeping people out of the red zone? Just overall team play, team scheme. What do you guys owe that to?
The brotherhood. We go out and we play for each other. We love each other. We take that personally. Honestly, 6 points that we gave up was 6 points too many in our minds. So. We're going to go back. We're going to watch the film, see where we had our mistakes to have to clean up, because we can't make any mistakes against Clemson next week. So, we want to be perfect. We want to be the best defense. We take it personally. We care about each other. We love each other. And when you have that love and care factor, man, the sky's the limit for any group. So we always say for the brotherhood, FTB, and we take this personally, man. So like I said, the 6 points that we gave up, we didn't even want to give up that. So next week, we're gonna lock in, and we're gonna put our best foot forward, and let the chips fall where they may. So just our brotherhood is strong. Our commitment, our buy-in, our coaches, they put us in great positions. So it's all one unit, one organism working in tandem with one another to be the best version of itself.
It's time now for Irish Intel, sponsored by the experts at TireRack.com. This is where we let Coach control the video and get into the X's and O's of why a play worked. Coach, our first play this week is Ian Book's 8-yard touchdown pass to Joe Wilkins Jr. that opened the scoring.
Yeah, this is a traditional play-action pass boot where we're pushing the ball to the perimeter, and we find Joe Wilkins in the back of the end zone. Now, you can see as we're rolling out to the right, the primary receivers, which will be in this instance the tight end and Kyron coming out of the backfield. Both of them get covered. But as Ian continues to push the perimeter, he opens up a lane for Joe Wilkins to slide into in the back of the end zone. And that's really the primary receiver right there. And does a great job finding him. Joe comes all the way from the backside, and a nice finish to a great drive.
Coach, our final play occurs in the third quarter with Georgia Tech snapping the ball on first down from the Notre Dame 27-yard line, and Dalton Hayes ends that scoring threat with a big strip sack.
Well, this is a interesting play for Dalton because they've gone to split backs to shore up their protection. And if you can watch it here, they run play action and they don't even use the backs. They had used both backs to chip the defensive end, but on this one, they use play action and they leave the right tackle one-on-one with Dalton Hayes, and not a good idea. Dalton Hayes was too good today. He uses a rip technique on the tackle, does a great job getting the ball out, and Myron is right there to get on the fumble, and just a really big play for us and a key time in the game.
Thanks, Coach. That will wrap up this week's Irish Intel segment, brought to you by TireRack.com. Coach and I will return to wrap up this edition of Inside Notre Dame Football right after this. There will be no distractions this week as you and your team can focus solely on getting ready for the nation's top-ranked team to come to town on Saturday night, a team that deserves that ranking even without Trevor Lawrence starting at quarterback.
No doubt. I mean, they have, obviously in the ACC, the longest winning streak since the ACC has been formed. So, this is a team that consistently, week in and week out, performs at a high level. They are the gold standard when it comes to, playing in the national playoffs and winning national titles. So they're deserving of being the number one team in the country, and they come here to South Bend. We're excited about this opportunity, but let's face it, our guys have made this opportunity come together because they're undefeated as well, and they've won a lot of football games, and they've won 22 in a row at home too. So this is going to be fun. It's going to be exciting. It's going to be a great challenge, but that's why you play the games. And again, I think our guys like having these kinds of opportunities, and they've created one.
All right, Brian, thank you. Folks, that will do it for this week's edition of Inside Notre Dame Football. Coach and I will return next week to break down all the highlights of the Notre Dame-Clemson game. Until then, for Coach Kelly, I'm Jack Nolan. Thanks so much for watching, and as always, go Irish.